with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. It's the Hood Mystic here with another video. Today, in this edition of the Shift Report, where shift happens, we're going to be talking about Drake versus UMG. We're going to be talking about Trump being inaugurated, a little bit of some Trump coin, meme coin nonsense, followed by just crypto in general. And then that'll just be our show. Got some videos that I want to react to. And of course, I'll be mentioning y'all super chats or mentioning comments that take place in the chat as well. So without further ado, man, I just want to just say thank you and welcome for watching my channel. Um, Being that I've done this for, I would say, a long time, it still feels fairly new. So I always am just grateful for any type of view, any type of like, any type of subscriber, anybody that taps into my content. I really do genuinely appreciate you for doing so, and really that's just been my attitude over this past week, just being extremely grateful, grateful for life, grateful for an opportunity to start over. Um, I don't know, when you are a caterpillar and you are transforming into a butterfly, I'm sure the butterfly could say it was rough, getting all of your organs disintegrated into a pulpy mess. But at the end of the day, if that's what it took to transform, then was it really rough? And so that's how I feel about 2024. In order for me to live the life that I was supposed to live, I had to transform. I had to understand who I truly am to be in this world because honestly, I did not know. So if you are praying for a miracle and you want things to truly change, understand that that change happens within. And hopefully everybody's just in good spirits based upon the fact that you're alive and you can set the tone for how things are going to look moving forward. So thank y'all for joining me. Yeah, I got the baby locks. I'm in the baby lock phase, but I mean, don't say nothing when these bitches become luxurious. I'm still in art. Never mind. I'm not going to reveal the master plan. Anyways, man, let's look at the chart for today. The topic of discussion is going to mainly be the sun coming into an exact conjunction of Pluto, where the way that we express ourselves is in full transformative mode. So, growing my hair just in general is just a tough thing for me. So I'm 40 years old and I've never had cornrows, dreads, or nothing. So this is the first time in my life I ever like grew my hair out. So that was a rough ordeal. But we here now and we ready to make the most of it. As far as anybody transforming, don't imagine it to be easy. Why would and when you look at this Sun conjunct Pluto energy, a lot of people are dealing with the facts that what they thought things were are not how things actually are. If I'm not mistaken, the border was shut down. And it was like a immigration app that people was using. Okay, the CPB1 app. What's going on with the CPB1 app, family? Thank y'all for joining me. Make sure y'all like the video, right? Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, because right now we're going to be talking about the Sun conjunct Pluto. The CPBP1 mobile application. See, we're all learning things today. One's in the chat if y'all got this downloaded on y'all phone. Effective January 20th, 2025. The functionalities of CBP1 that previously allowed undocumented aliens to submit advanced information to schedule appointments at 8 Southwest border points of entry is no longer available, and existing appointments have been canceled. So this application would allow you to check for border wait times, apply for a provisional I-94 entry, request an inspection for agriculture or biological products, submit a traveler's manifest for bus operators. So I'm imagining it might have some good uses for people with businesses, but as far as this app being used for people to cross the border, the app is not working. So why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because for a lot of people, they thought that they was on their way to America on the 21st. They thought they was in America about to have an appointment with the Secretary of State or whoever, right? We about to, meet up with my other family, my other kin folks. But actually, you got a whole reroute and change of plans. And I need to make this link more readily available, and I will do it. But what I'm going to do right now is just go on my website, because I have a worksheet for people. Most people have it. Some people don't. Matter of fact, I can just go to my Substack and check my latest astrology article. Because if you haven't downloaded this worksheet, you need to. It's a free worksheet. It's not nothing that's going to cost you, okay? It's a free worksheet. But the point of the worksheet is so you can know where your placements are. So if the sun is conjunct Pluto and Capricorn, you want to know what house it's in. And of course, you can just look at your transit chart if you advance in astrology. But if you never did a transit chart before, you don't know what I'm talking about. The first things first is to go to my Substack, the White Rabbit Substack. Look for my latest astrology article, which is going to be the full moon in Gemini. The first link is going to be something that says download PDF. Just download this PDF. It's going to bring you to a worksheet, a 2-page free worksheet that's going to be life changing, because you'll know where these energies are happening in your life. It's one thing to talk about Sun conjunct Pluto as a particular concept, but it's a whole nother thing to talk about Sun conjunct Pluto in your particular house in your chart. So, as long as I'm talking about astrology on this channel, if I'm talking about any type of astrology, and I'm going to have to just put this link in all of the descriptions of my videos, especially the astrology videos, there has to be an understanding of where this energy is happening in your chart. I know that Pluto is in my fourth house right now. So, home, family, roots, emotional foundation. Where one thing about me and one thing's for sure and two things for certain, I'm going to work from home, right? But my job, like, I've been a home based business every single day since 2017. Well, post 2016. Post 2016, I made my shift. And why is post 2016 important? Because 2016 was a 9 year. What is 2025? A 9 year. Nines are years of completions, nines are years of major shifts. So when we talk about a ending, what are we also talking about? A beginning. So what tends to happen is that we might want to just quit a job. Why is that a logical fallacy in the pursuit of being successful? Quitting a job is like a five. It's not a nine. Having a job already in place and then giving your 2 weeks notice is a nine. Ones in the chat, if that makes sense. Like the video if y'all like the video. Share the video to those who might need some spiritual information on this soft Tuesday. Welcome to the Shift Report, where shift happens, right? I'm going to probably be running this show for the next 9 years because over the next 9 years, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune will be in a specific formation that's called a minor grand trine, where there's two trines and one sextile. These are transpersonal planets, meaning that they are very ancient, very spiritual, and they're initiating a great shift that's going to take place over the next 9 years. So, once again, when we're talking about a 9 year, we're not talking about a 5 year, a crisis. A 5 year, I'm gonna quit my job. I don't know what I'm gonna do. God help me. A 9 year is I already know that I'm going to be a butterfly. So now I have to understand that cocoon phase. I can't do nothing in the butterfly realm, and I can't do nothing in the caterpillar realm. The only realm that I can do work in is the inner realm. Okay. That is an 8 and 9 because the 8 and 9 are very similar, especially when you look at them. A nine is just the eight with a little bit taken away, but nine is a very powerful number. It is a magic number, it is a magical concept. The key is you have to initiate endings, and also that ending is because you have found something much better, and you cannot sacrifice who you came to earth to be living in a trailer park, or to be in a toxic relationship, or to be in a dead end job, or to be in a city where ain't shit going on, and you know you want to be on the pulse of something. It is a very transformational time, especially for people that make mistakes. Ultimately, when you make a mistake, you try to redeem yourself through, um, you know, engaging the external world. So you make more money, you look better, da 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 da. This Sun conjunct Pluto energy is making the changes internally, getting so deep with your higher self that you know that you're going to win, even if your opponent thinks that it's going to win. So when you look at this particular energy, I want us to look at two real things that's taking place. We have Drake versus UMG, and we also have Trump versus the whole entire planet. But there is a certain element of deep racial undertones that are just astounding with Trump. And we're in the paradigm of time where people can do whatever they want. I'm only saying this because in your life, guess what? You can do whatever you want, but you have to develop an inner dialogue. So, the victory lap that the Republicans took yesterday was based upon the fact for 4 years they knew that they were going to win. To know you're going to win and to actually win, there probably isn't a better feeling than that. But this goes into more of a metaphysical concept. If I know that I'm going to be a butterfly, I'll be okay with taking a year to be in a cocoon. I'll be okay to do the inner work to figure out how this is going to look for me. So you have two planets at play here. You have the sun, which is a momentary energy, and then you have Pluto, which is a very long term endocrine hormonal shift of your entire being. So the difference between a 17-year-old woman and a 55-year-old woman is that they're two different species. You're talking about a woman that maybe have had a child, many different child, and raised children, and had to get into the workforce, have a husband, make up, break up, break up, make up. This all changes a person over time, that it shifts you into consciousness. You might meet a very peaceful person and they 60 years old and you like, man, this person is cool, so relaxed, so calm. But you didn't know what made them become that way. And so this is Capricorn energy. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn represents time, it represents bones, it represents old age, it represents something in a sense of knowing exactly what you are. See, the 17-year-old is filled with, I already know who I am and what I'm supposed to do. Yesterday, me and my wife were having a conversation and referencing her brother, and he's younger, and he's like, what he wants to do for a living. And I'm thinking back of me when I was 18, and yeah, when I was 18, I knew I wanted to be a professional astrologer. And, the thing that I'm doing today wasn't even a reality when I was 18 years old. Think about that. Couldn't conceive of being a YouTube streamer because there was no such thing as YouTube when I was 18 years old. So, once again, when we talk about transformation, we're dealing with the time and we're dealing with our knees. The symbology for knees is that they wither over time. Yo, the reason why LeBron James can't play until he's 50 years old, even though he wants to, is because of his knees. Reason he can't run as fast, jump as fast, play as fast is because of his knees. and the knees are undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. So basically, if LeBron James doesn't figure out what he's going to do past basketball, it's going to be real dark. Because the majority of LeBron James' life, he still has yet to live, and he's not going to be a professional basketball player. He's just not. Therefore, this is the real time. And I'm using LeBron James as a metaphor because everybody crashes out. You ever heard of a Saturn return? Well, that Saturn return happens when you're 25, then it happens again when you're 50. So this particular resonance of Saturn is always going to be like, yeah, what you did was bullshit. So, and we're dealing with an earth sign. We're dealing with materialism. So it ain't no thinking that goes into it. It ain't no emotion that goes into it. This is real life. And if you don't engage with the real life, it's like when you look at the human condition and you see people make decisions in reference to their emotions and the way that they think, it is a very sad situation. You have to deal with reality. You cannot deal with fantasy because Pluto is moving into Capricorn and getting well situated into Capricorn. You have to be realistic. Realistic in reference to the transformations that you are enacting in your life. A transformation is where you go from one form to a whole other form. Now, this could be a transformation between living and death, or natural to supernatural, depressed to enlightened, or poor to rich. Whatever transformation you want to enact, you want to understand where this is happening in your fourth house. The way this happens in my chart is that my 10th house is aligned with my fourth house. So if I'm in alignment with my chart, I work from home. I look for work from home opportunities because I understand my chart. When I didn't understand my chart, which is cool, we all have to learn. I was working at factories, hated it, and was broke. When you in misalignment, far as relationships, work, home, things like that, you hate it and you don't got no motion. You hate it and no money is coming in. But when you are in alignment, you love it and you have hella motion. You love it and the money comes in. But once again, where's your 10th house in your chart? How does your 10th house, your Capricorn, line up on your chart? See, if you don't know where Capricorn is in your chart, then you don't know where you getting your money from. One's in the chat if that makes sense. Because the 10th house is your career. Capricorn is your career. Now, once again, your 10th house could also be in a different place, but your Capricorn could be in a different place too. These are two compelling factors that you have to factor when you are making financial and workplace decisions. So, another concept that I want to bring in reference to Pluto is the plutocracy, right? A small group of individuals who focus on getting this money on. And you have to think about that in your own personal life. It could be you and your partner, you and your children, you and your family, you and your friends, you and your coworkers. On y'all lunch break, y'all think about ways. Now, I just need to know in the chat who is stopping you from getting together with your loved ones to start an endeavor. What is the entity or energy or person that's stopping you from coming together with people and making things happen? Whether you and your partner, what's stopping you from you and your man working together, doing a little small business, a side hustle, fuck around and finding out what's stopping you and your best friend. Y'all grew up together. Y'all both work at the same hospital. What's stopping y'all from doing a traveling nurse? Because if you can identify what's stopping you, you can work on that. You can heal that. You can meditate on that. Because when you look at this particular energy and the things that's able to happen, far as magic, far as finances, as far as finding a way. Remember what I said 9 years ago, it wasn't no such thing. Well, let's go 18 years ago, rather. It wasn't no such thing as streaming online as it is today. In the realms of you transforming, in the realms of you creating something for yourself and your family, there is nothing stopping you. You just have to begin to set the wheels in motion. And of course, you can't control other people. You can't manipulate the streams. But you got to also understand that when people have came together to create stuff, it was people just like you working with this particular new moon that's coming up. Understand receptive energy. Be open to change. Be open to finding the people that you need to find along your journey that's going to help you complete the mission. There's been so many times where I just needed something from somebody, and I remember one time I just needed something, and a guy, he was walking down the street and something just told me, ask him where he work at. I was like, hey man, where you work at? He was like, man, I work at this temp agency. Cool dude. You would just start working today if you call him. Gave me his number. I was working in that same day. If I never even thought to say, man, hey, where you working at? Who knows where I would be? You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is leverage the hundreds or thousands of people you see every day by talking to them and engaging with them. Have an open mind. Be receptive. Trust your intuition. Move forward in this energy in a way that you already know you're going to be victorious. Understand the shift is taking place, but it's also a shift for a lot of negative entities and negative energies as well. Because in this world, it can have sunshine or rain. It can have up or down. It can have a beautiful parrot flying through the sky, or it can have a vicious lion on the prowl looking to hunt and eat anything that it sees. This is the world that we live in, so stay vigilant and stay aware. Uh, the first reaction video that I wanted to do is going to be in reference to Drake versus UMG because this is Pluto and Capricorn all day. Never has an artist sued the label while being the number one artist in the country. This gives a power move or a power play the same way as Michael Jackson did with Sony back in the day. But I don't know the details of it, so I figured that we could all learn the details together and then give our commentary, our critique on what's actually happening in the music business. Because at one level, we've had an industry that was built upon vinyl sales, CD sales, and tape sales. Now, in the chat, when was the last time you bought a CD? When was the last time you bought a CD? So, where is the music industry getting the money from? They get the money from streaming and more or less controlling the pipelines for which we listen to music. So, I found this video It really broke it down brilliantly, and I'm not going to let it play for so long for copyright reasons, but at the same time, I will stop it every now and again to like overview what she was saying, give my take, and move forward. So, yeah, let's get into it. Drake versus UMG, the
I'm not a
battle
lawyer,
for
but I
control.
finally got around to reading the full 81-page lawsuit that Drake has filed against UMG. And in it, he gives 3 reasons as to why he's suing UMG and not Kendrick Lamar. So let me give you the recap. And it really comes down to money. First, early in the lawsuit, Drake makes it clear that, quote, this lawsuit is not about the artists who created Not Like Us. It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize allegations that it understood were not only false, but dangerous. It goes on to say very explicitly that Drake is not a pedophile. Drake has never engaged in any acts that would require he be, quote, placed on neighborhood watch.
That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch.
Drake has never engaged in relations with a minor.
A minor.
Drake has never been charged with or convicted of any criminal acts whatsoever. And so, as a company that published, promoted, exploited, and monetized, Drake says he wants UMG. All right, so reason number 1 as to why Drake is suing UMG is because he says one of their motivations for promoting and making Not Like Us a success was to damage his popularity, so that when it came.
So, this is like, we talked about this the other day, but I'm going to bring it up again. The etymology, and you should look this up, the etymology of the word contract means to tighten or draw together or simply make smaller. So Drake signing this contract with the hopes and dreams to be the biggest star in the world, it is not working out as he planned. And just talking about it just made me think about this experience that I've documented on this channel when it happened. I don't know when or what, too many videos to really pinpoint when I actually documented it, but if I had to, I would find it. But, anyways, Drake is an occultist and a metaphysician. And one of his books, like one of his places that he likes to come for metaphysical books, is a place in Michigan, not too far from where I live in the town of Berkeley, called the Aquarium Bookstore. I went into the store. It's only open Wednesday, Saturday, and Friday. A old man, he owns the store, thousands of books just scattered all around, all metaphysical books, right? And I just was going there. I just was going there to like, look at books and shit. So me and my wife, we go find some books we want to buy. And at first he's like, the store is closing. The store is closing. Like we came there 10 minutes before closing. He might have said it 4 times, more or less, rushing us out the store. Only for us to get to the checkout. We about to check out. He ringing us up. We making light banter, blah, blah, blah. Then he just stopped everything. And he like, man, I want to tell you about something. And we're like, okay, what you want to tell us about? He like, I want to tell you, you know who Drake is? Me and my wife like, yeah, we know who Drake is or whatever. Da, da, da. So he just go yapping about Drake, telling me how he'll come there with his homies and they'll have 5 different big gym bags full of books. And at first, I felt like he was lying because he didn't really know who Drake was, but his experience, you could kind of tell he was like seeing like this dude is like different. This dude bought $50,000 worth of books. You know what I mean? He getting all of this shit for real. But then the reason that I know that this is all true and all facts, and there's no way you cannot make this shit up, is because he goes into how Drake was about to leave, and Drake looks up and sees a dictionary that's basically priceless about liquor and spirits. And Drake gets it. He's like, I gotta have this book. And he opens up the book to his farm, Drake's farm, where Drake have a liquor company. Little known fact. But this story and this little known fact, I had to Google it. Lo and behold, Drake have a farm in Virginia. Same story that the man said. Now, this man would have had to look up Drake, his liquor company, and be like, all right, when Kyrie come here, I'ma just lie to him about Drake. At a certain point, that makes zero sense to me. The only thing that makes sense is that this actually happened. And the story about Drake is that he is a metaphysician and an occultist before he is a rapper. So what you could learn from Drake is magic and occultism and Jewish mysticism and the Kabbalah. What is the Kabbalah? The Kabbalah means to receive. So Drake basically is signed to a contract with a lot of different entities that don't have his best interests at heart. Because as you can see, they can turn Kendrick Lamar into the biggest pop star the world has ever seen with a push of a button. So let's get into how they made this song become one of the biggest songs in the country because they could, not because it was such a great song. One's in the chat if
time
that
to
makes
renegotiate
sense.
his contract, he wouldn't be the superstar he once was, and therefore wouldn't be able to demand the amount of money and rates he typically would have been able to get. The lawsuit says that the rise of streaming platforms has given established artists more leverage and power in their negotiations. So Drake, for example, has been making music for a while. His success is well documented. He has hit songs. And so renewing a contract with him theoretically isn't much of a risk for a company like UMG. He's a pretty solid bet with a track record to prove it. So for that reason, established artists who knows what they bring to the table, has the numbers to back it up, and can understand how much a company can stand to make off of them, can demand a higher rate when they're negotiating a deal. Unless brand reputation and popularity of that established artist is all of a sudden tarnished or damaged. Now that artist isn't able to demand that high rate that they once were able to, and now the company has more leverage when negotiating their contract and can maybe get that artist to sign at a discounted rate. So that's what Drake and his team are saying happened here. They say UMG was motivated to make Not Like Us a hit because it devalued Drake's music and his brand, which would allow them to renew his contract at a price that's more favorable to them.
And at that and that and I feel like when people are going against their contract, I, um I'm gonna play this video again. I'm gonna look for this video of who was it? Damn, who was it? LL Cool J. LL Cool J was on the Joe Budden podcast, and you know Joe Budden is the king of let me sign this contract and not honor it for whatever reason. Like Joe Budden never honors contracts. So Joe Budden is talking to LL Cool J, and mind you, LL Cool J have put out close to 20 albums under contract for Def Jam, still under contract for Def Jam. Uh, Joe Budden asks LL Cool J, like, you know, how are you still how are you still putting up with these contracts and da 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 da? Like, why are you bucking against the system, fighting against the system? LL Cool J was like, yeah, I used to get mad. And then I just sat there and I thought about it. And I thought, I signed the contract. So since I signed the contract, I got to honor everything that's in that contract that I signed. Meaning that if I offer you a contract, I'm trying to bind you and make you smaller because that's what a contract is. It is something to contract you. If I had some type of substance and I wanted to contract it, I'm making it smaller. Nobody ever gave you an expand, right? Hey, sign this expansion. Imagine the NBA say, we got a contraction team. What's a contraction team? Yeah, we getting rid of it. Oh, that means that the team not even going to be able to play or make no money. Yeah, they never call it that. What do they call it? They call it an expansion team. It means that another team is going to be added to the league and they're going to be able to play. So when Drake is like, well, y'all are devaluing me and making it hard for me to gain leverage when I sign my contract, that's what they're supposed to do. Somebody like Drake needs to be independent. Somebody like Drake needs to sell 10K when he drops a project. So we can understand what the standard is to be an independent artist. Because we don't know how good our art is when the music labels can make Not Like Us the number one played song on country music stations. Man, that Kendrick Lamar sure is a great artist.
Now, on to reason number 2, and this one has to do with Kendrick Lamar's contract. The lawsuit says that Kendrick was also signed to UMG, but he only signed a short-term deal that started in 2023 and ended in 2024. And while they wanted Kendrick to sign a longer deal, he only agreed to a short-term deal so that he could see if UMG was actually valuable to him and if they could promote his music more effectively than any other music company. But the problem, according to the lawsuit, is a short-term deal meant that UMG only had a short period of time to prove their worth to Kendrick. And the lawsuit claims UMG used the song Not Like Us to do it. It says UMG chose to publish and promote this song knowing it contained defamatory material against Drake.
That's a deep level. So they're trying to court Kendrick. Like they're UMG, Lucian Grange is telling these artists, look, man, if you want to be the number one artist, sign to us because we make it so. Now think about the most talented artist that's not signed to a contract. You would look at his numbers or his YouTube views and be like, man, he done fell off. People don't like his music no more. Then you look at somebody like Kendrick Lamar and you really think like, okay, because when Kendrick Lamar said, I'm with the culture feeling, I don't think he was talking about me and you, family. I'm thinking when Kendrick Lamar said, I'm with the culture feeling, he was talking about Lucian Grange, Elliot Grange, Lear Cohen, people like that. Record label execs. That's the culture. They push the culture forward, not the people. So Kendrick Lamar signed a deal with the devil just to take out the devil. And now when I hear it's a song on his CD where he's talking about how he is Lucifer. I think it's the song Reincarnated. It makes a lot of sense now to me. I'm just about to pull up the lyrics and see, because it's one part where he's talking about it's towards the end. He says, I rewrote the devil's story just to take our power back. So it's like he became a devil to knock out another devil. And my question is Drake the devil? Or is that just the narrative that we've been fed? Maybe he is. Maybe he is the worst thing that ever happened to music. But I'm looking at it from a place where these record companies determine who's the star and who's not the star. So, and I'm also looking at it like maybe Drake is a star because the record labels made him a star the same way as they made Not Like Us the number one song in the whole country, even though it probably wasn't the number one song in the whole country. That to me is just diabolical. That to me it ruins the whole integrity of music as an art form. To me, y'all putting people that y'all want in front of us, and the people that we need to hear, how we gonna find them? How you gonna find Alex Isley if you just don't know? How you gonna find Umi if you just don't know? How you gonna find Aman Omari if you just don't know? And some people like, I don't know who that is.
all in an effort to
It's
show
crazy.
Kendrick how valuable they could be to him and get him to sign a longer term deal with them. And the lawsuit says that that longer term deal was signed in December of 2024. And now the final reason listed in the lawsuit as to why Drake is suing UMG is again because of money. But this time it's a little more direct. The lawsuit says that UMG has a division based bonus structure that allows division executives to benefit from their artists regardless if it affects another UMG division's artist. Follow me. So UMG is a parent company, and under it there are labels or divisions like Interscope and Republic. So if an artist that's signed to Interscope, like Kendrick is, has a wildly successful song or album, executives at Interscope may get bonuses or other benefits to reflect the success of that artist and their music. And it doesn't matter if that success is at the expense of another UMG division's artist like Republic, where Drake is signed. So here, Drake is a
And you know what she just laid out? She laid out drill rap. She laid out Biggie versus Tupac. And what these musical artists, so if all of the artists are under UMG, but all of the artists is beefing, the executives are getting money because I guess in their brain, nobody, well, and we look at the numbers, right? It's artists like drill rappers, they'll make a song just about, some cool vibes, you know what I mean? Get 2,000 views. But then he make a song about dissing the op and he get a million views. A million views. Easy. So what you going to do? You going to make a song and get 2,000 views, or you going to make a song that get a million views? So the kids is incentivized by the system to make diss songs and beef songs because UMG has incentivized the executives of their subsidiaries, Atlantic, Interscope, all of these labels with King Von signed to it and NBA YoungBoy. King Von is from Chicago. NBA YoungBoy is from Baton Rouge. The fact that they beefing, they shouldn't even be. But you understand why they're beefing because they're signed to labels, they're signed to a contract, and the beef is going to stimulate the economy.
alleging that John Janik,
Powerful
who is the
stuff, man.
CEO of Interscope, was motivated to make Not Like Us a success, regardless of the defamatory allegations, because he himself was directly rewarded as well. It also notes that John Janik and the CEO of Republic, Monty Littman, are both being considered to replace Lucien Grange, who is the CEO of UMG, the parent company. Some other things worth noting from the lawsuit is that Drake and his team point out UMG and Lucien Grange should specifically know the harm and seriousness of publicizing defamatory claims because they were recently listed as defendants in one of the lawsuits against Diddy. In that Diddy lawsuit, UMG and Lucien Grange were accused.
Hold up. What would you do? See, this boy Drake, man. This boy Drake shrewd in the mud. He said, wait a second. Let me run that back.
Is again
Boy, Drake ain't
because of
even
money.
playing
But this
fair.
time it's a little more direct. The lawsuit says that UMG has a division-based bonus structure that allows division executives to benefit from their artists regardless if it affects another UMG division's artist. Follow me. So UMG is a parent company, and under it there are labels or divisions like Interscope and Republic. So if an artist that's signed to Interscope, like Kendrick is, has a wildly successful song or album, executives at Interscope may get bonuses or other benefits to reflect the success of that artist and their music. And it doesn't matter if that success is at the expense of another UMG division's artist like Republic, where Drake is signed. So here, Drake is alleging that John Janik, who is the CEO of Interscope, was motivated to make Not Like Us a success, regardless of the defamatory allegations, because he himself was directly rewarded as well. It also notes that John Janik and the CEO of Republic, Monty Littman, are both being considered to replace Lucien Grange, who is the CEO of UMG, the parent company. Some other things worth noting from the lawsuit is that Drake and his team point out UMG and Lucien Grange should specifically know the harm and seriousness of publicizing defamatory claims because they were recently listed as defendants in one of the lawsuits against Diddy. In that Diddy lawsuit, UMG and Lucien Grange were accused of aiding and abetting Diddy while he committed heinous and widespread acts of violence against minors. Lucien and UMG's legal team immediately filed a motion to have the case dismissed against them and argued that the accusations were offensively false, and if they were not in a court document, they would be considered defamation. Lucien specifically said that the allegations against him in the lawsuit were knowingly and maliciously false and defamatory, and that, quote, a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. So again, Drake's point here is that even though they just had to fight off their own allegations, that still wasn't enough to stop them from releasing, promoting, and re-promoting a song that had similar allegations about one of their own artists. And the
It's a dirty game. It's dirty where this goes into shadow work. When you don't do it, you experience something like it's like that saying, hurt people, right? And you don't know who you actually dealing with because you ain't really in their emotional field, in their mental space. So here it is. They fighting off allegations and they gonna allow another person to have an allegation. And the thing about Not Like Us, the record company could have said, "Oh no, we can't put this song out." And instead of them saying that, they said, "No, we about to push this." Look at the ways that they push this album. Watch it. Is she gonna finish? She gonna explain just how OD they were with pushing Not Like Us, just so they could have more leverage. Because regardless of to the facts, Drake signed the contract and he has to deal with the fact that people not really messing with him. When he put out a song, it's either getting took off streaming or it's not getting. He has some songs that could have been hits this summer. He had the song with Lotto, would have went. People like that song in Atlanta. People really like that song, but it didn't get the push. It didn't get a video. So now it's like, yeah, we about to sign you for a bag of Skittles at this point. You ain't really hot no more, Drake. Kendrick Lamar killed you in the streets. But then look what the label did to make sure
Lawsuit says
that
that
people
when
wasn't
Drake
fucking with
confronted
Drake.
UMG about all of this, they refused to do anything about it. In fact, the lawsuit says that UMG told Drake that if he sued them, they would just in turn sue Kendrick Lamar and imply that then Drake would be made fun of for looking like he sued another rapper over a rap battle. All right, so I won't go into all of the details about how many times the song was played. Here it says billions. Or how it was played at national events like the DNC, NBA games, MLB games, WNBA games, or how it is surely going to be played at the upcoming Super Bowl halftime show that Kendrick Lamar will be headlining. I also won't talk about how Drake claims that UMG used its ownership stake in Complex and Vivo to also promote and boost the song. But I will say that Drake has 3 causes of action for this lawsuit. He is officially suing UMG for defamation, which goes to UMG, according to Drake, knowingly and maliciously publishing defamatory statements about him, all of which negatively impact his personal and professional reputation and directly impacts him financially. The second cause of action is harassment, because according to Drake, the song made a call for violence against him, and even when that violence started to happen, which is a reference to the shooting and break-ins that happened at his house, that still wasn't enough to stop UMG from promoting the song. And then the third cause of action is for violating the New York General Business Law, which has to do with Drake's claim that UMG paid people to promote and play the song, misleading the public to believe that it was more popular than it actually was. Oh, and Kai Cenat and some other YouTubers were mentioned in the lawsuit, but that just had to do with the claim that UMG was doing everything they could to promote Not Like Us, including whitelisting the song or like removing the copyright from it on YouTube so that streamers could play the songs on their videos and still get monetized. All right, so now that you have that context, tell me what you think. Does Drake have a point, or is he still just mad he lost the battle?
And to me, it goes beyond losing a battle. To me, it goes to just a larger point within the society where the rich get richer and the poor don't get a motherfucking thing. And when you understand this Sun conjunct Pluto energy, and I know like you might not have a team, you might not have a support system. That's not the nature of a Sun conjunct Pluto. The nature of a Sun conjunct Pluto is that you have the intention, you have the desire, you have it within yourself to find what it is about you that you could bring to the table that you could begin to like see a collective grow, a plutocracy grow. And if you have it already, if you around adults on a regular basis and y'all not doing things as far as Capricornian things, career, opening up a pizza shop, something of that nature, doing some artistic stuff, creative endeavors like starting a paint and sip collective that y'all can run in a community center every weekend, charge $20 a piece, like if y'all not doing something and split up the money at the end of it all, then you gonna be out of alignment with this energy. Because understand, Drake didn't write that legal document up by himself. He has some very good lawyers look at his case and say, I think that is a strong case. We're going to sue not one of the biggest, but the biggest record label on the planet. And you're the artist signed to the label right now. And you're still a big artist. You're the number one streaming artist on Spotify, right? You're one of the biggest artists, and yeah, we're gonna sue the pants off these mofo's, basically. So once again, do you think Drake is just salty, or is Drake doing his due diligence or doing his big one because he's wanting to step into a real leadership role within the music business at the top of his craft and going independent, which would be one of the biggest moves in music history. It would be to the equivalent of Michael Jackson going independent when Beat It came out, though. Not later in his career where he ain't have no emotion. I think an independent Drake would be a breath of fresh air. And if he sues UMG and wins, I don't know how you could be on that label knowing that you just sued them for billions of dollars, right? You get the billions of dollars and then you become independent and you help out other independent artists. I think this is the shift in music, and it's just the start, right? It's just the beginning. So, with that being said, that was Drake suing UMG. That was my first segment. Now, my second segment is taking more of a political turn, but it's still in reference to this energy of the sun conjunct Pluto, which is tied to finances, government, and overall legacy. First, we're going to talk about a book that came out in the 1800s about a boy named Barron and a dad or a guide, a mentor named Don. Okay? And we're going to see how the truth is stranger than fiction. It's two videos I'm going to show. And then we're going to react to this Trump coin stuff. But I just want to show the fiction side, and then we're going to show the real side, and we're going to talk about it. But here goes
They say
Barron
art
Trump.
imitates life, but in this case, is art a prophecy? Author Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a series of books over 100 years ago about a super rich kid named Barron Trump. One of the books is titled Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. The fantasy book tells the tale of a boy named Barron Trump, who of course makes his home in Castle Trump. The narrator of the story is a guy by the name of Don. The book supposedly tells the tale of Don, the Master of Masters, taking young Barron through a time-traveling portal to Russia. The last pamphlet written by Lockwood is entitled The Last President, which takes place in New York City and describes the chaos America faces after the election of an unlikely candidate.
And then I have a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him? He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did. And Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right, Barron? They were all good.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic.
So I showed two videos. The first video is about this book called, let me get the actual book for y'all, the real synopsis. It's called The Barron Trump Collection. Yo, it's literally called The Barron Trump Collection. When was this written, man? The Barron Trump novels was written in 1889 and 1893. I'm saying these dates, ladies and gentlemen, because it is 2024. And we could say, that's like a book that was written in 1950 about Barack Obama. That would be crazy. So if it's a book about Barron Trump, it could be a book about Barron Trump that came out in 1893. It shouldn't be about presidents and shit like that. It should be about, a fairy tale or something. We should be able to connect some dots. This don't even have to connect dots. In the first paragraph of the wiki page, These books remain obscure until 2017 when they received media attention for the perceived similarities between their protagonists and the US President Donald Trump. So either these books was written in 2016, made to look like they was old, but it says that these books was in the Library of Congress. Maybe Trump put them there. I'm not doubting anything. But I want y'all to key into some major themes. I don't know why is we being blind to the type of people that the Trumps are. Y'all seen what Elon Musk did? Look on Twitter. Watch. And if any porn come up, it's not because of me. Because I do not watch that stuff on Twitter. It just show up there. And I scroll. I scroll mad fast when I go past it. Mm-mm-mm. Nuh-uh. Never me. Number 6, trending in the United States. Can y'all read? One's in the chat. If y'all can read, what's the number 6 trending topic in the country? One's in the chat if you can see it. What's the 6th trend? I'm not going to say it. I'm for sure they flagging that word. Because your boy Elon Musk basically did the whole this boy. Y'all can't tell me that my eyes ain't seeing what I'm seeing right now. Come on, man. That's crazy, bruh. That's crazy, bruh. Like I said, I've been saying this ever since. I'm clocking any melanated man that's in full support of Donald Trump. I'm clocking you. I just want to see what karma look like. Barron Trump is the recount of the adventures of a German boy who goes by Barron Trump as he discovers weird underground civilizations, offends the natives, and flees from his entanglements with local women, and repeats this pattern until arriving back home at Castle Trump. So there is a spot in this movie or in the book where Barron Trump is led by his guide, and his guide's name is Don. Once again, could just be a lie, right? But it's still weird. They say that Barron Trump's actually lives in a building called Castle Trump. And Castle Trump could be another name for Trump Tower. That's a real thing. Depending on the city that you live in, there's probably a Trump Tower in this city. Donald Trump, youngest son, is named Barron. So my point is, Are these people really time travelers? Is it a coincidence? Or do they know something that we don't know? So, over this particular weekend, the Trump coin was released. Y'all got some of that Trump coin? Do y'all got some of that Trump coin? Trump's new meme coin soars in his first day of office, lifts other tokens. I'm going to react to a video about this actual meme coin because, man, he ain't talking about this enough. It was people $80 and got $3,000. Now, and once again, this is not financial advice. And maybe it's wrong to invest $80 and make $3,000. But if loving you is wrong, I wanna be right. I'm sorry, I went out of body. Um, the U.S. President Donald Trump's new crypto token soared to more than $10 billion in market value on Monday, while enthusiasm over his crypto-friendly administration helped briefly lift Bitcoin to a new record. Launched Friday night, Trump's so-called meme coin surged from less than $10 on Saturday morning to as high as $74.59. The token, branded $Trump and criticized by ethics experts, was last trading at $33. So that's still up $23 from the beginning. And if this is a project that lasts for the next 4 years, it might be an opportunity to make some money. It's not an opportunity to lose money. What do I mean by that? Because you could go to a restaurant and spend $100. One's in the chat. Do you ever think like, damn, I lost money? Even though you did lose money, you never gonna get that money back. You like, damn, that food was good. You ain't thinking like, damn, I need that $40 back. I need that $100 back. So if crypto is something like, I got $20 that I'm not gonna care about tomorrow, then you could invest that. And if you lose it, did you lose anything? And that's what investing is about. If you got money that you need, don't invest it in crypto because you could lose. It's a risk. You might lose all of it, but you can't lose more than what you've invested. You can't lose more money. So therefore, you got to start to look at it like that. So once again, I'm going to react to the liberal perspective in reference to the Trump coin 7-minute video, but I want to get y'all thoughts. So feel free to comment in the chats, comment in the video. Are you invested in meme coins at all, and why not?
Of
Increase the speed up a little bit. Start it from the beginning. Here we go. Trump becomes a crypto billionaire overnight after coin. How do y'all feel about it?
a couple of layers of this. Not only is this meme coin something that on paper is giving him money, it's also they're taking the Trump world, loosely involving his sons. They're taking a cut out of each transaction. So they're making money off of this in a world in which Republicans are concerned about corruption. Why?
Now, She's sitting there on CNN. She making money too. Are we supposed to have a problem? And I want to be as partial as possible. Give me pushback. Is it wrong for somebody to make money when people is making money? Listen, it's 20 people on this chat right now. All 20 of us can conglomerize. If it ain't a word, it is a word now. Okay, we could all conglomerize and have a chat coin, and we could all invest money into it and get a percentage off of it, and get all of our family and friends to invest in the chat coin, and every amount of money that they invest in the coin, we get a cutoff. Yes, it is a Ponzi scheme, but once again, we talking about fiat currency. What is fiat currency worth? What is fiat currency worth? And it's always a follow-up question. Fiat currency, like the US dollar, has no intrinsic value and derives its value solely from the public's trust in the government that issues it. Okay? This man, Donald Trump, is telling you what it is. If the first day of his office, he creating a damn meme coin, but you like, that's a scam, but you got cash, that's a scam. Am I saying invest all of your cash in the crypto? No. But at least inform yourself. At least educate yourself. And once again, she just started. She talked for 22 seconds and I got triggered. So I'm going to start over again and I'm going to listen differently. Shout out to White Rabbit Psychedelics, White Rabbit Psych, where we have weekly discounts. Make sure you tap in, tap in, tap in. Link is in the description. Check out my website too, hoodmystic.com, where all of my links, all of my sites, Patreon, Substack, anything that I'm talking about on the live, you can more or less find on hoodmystic.com. Thank y'all for y'all support. Ooh, let me share the screen first. All right, let's get into it. Let me get that back together for y'all.
A couple of layers of this. Not only is this meme coin something that on paper is giving him money, it's also they're taking the Trump world, loosely involving his sons. They're taking a cut out of each transaction. So they're making money off of this in a world in which Republicans are concerned about corruption. Why is this okay?
Well,
Scott.
I'll let Scott go first now. But I do want to talk about the bigger picture on crypto. Go ahead.
Well, look, I'm just going to lay out a couple things. Number one, I have no idea how any of this works. So everything I say to you on television tonight, America, do not take financial advice from me.
That's the thing. Like, y'all on these panels and you ask a question, and the question is, I have no idea how it works. At that point, don't say nothing. Okay? Cause if I say, you ask me a question, I say I don't know, then I start talking. Like, once again, it's irrelevant. But go ahead.
I keep all my money in what I call Maxwell House coin, which is a can that I bury in my yard in
And you lying.
Kentucky. That's number one. Number two, I have more confidence in this than I have in Hawk Tuah coin or some of the other things that I've heard. Number
We're not talking about Hawk Tuah coin. We talking about the Trump coin. And it's a thing. It's a 70 billion, or it was a $70 billion, 70 billion market cap. We should be informed. 70 billion. And we're just saying 70 billion. If you had to count from 1 to 7 billion, how long would it take? How long would it take to count to 70 billion? It would take more than 30 years to count to 7 billion. So it would take much longer to count to 70 billion. Counting to a billion manually could take over 100 years. You couldn't count in your lifetime $70 billion, but when the Trump coin reaches a 70 billion market cap in a day, you just like, huh, that's interesting. Pussy still good though. No, let's stop and have a conversation. Donald Trump launched a coin, and overnight he 3x, 30x. And we don't even know how this thing works. So once again, since we don't know how it works, guess what it is? It's a scam, ladies and gentlemen. No more to see here. Let's go home. Let's go to sleep because cryptocurrency is a scam. And if the video have no sound, just let me know. I know it's going to be a delay, but that's the only way that I'll know. So if I'll ever play the video and you don't hear no sound, just put it in the chat and I'll stop it immediately.
three, Donald Trump is a brand.
Yeah.
He's been a brand long before he
also
got into politics,
about
and
to-
there's like a whole cottage industry of people who were mad that
I get
Donald
that.
Trump is a brand
But,
and that it has existed for 40 years. And I don't guess we're going to change that.
Van, the president, he's about to be president of the United States.
Don't
And he's
remind
about
me.
to be in a position where he regulates this industry, this very industry that had the crypto ball a couple of days ago, that wants him to basically say, government hands off this entire industry that regular people, you may not know about it, but regular people are putting all kinds of money into crypto, and they don't want any regulation. And Trump might very well give it to them.
Well, no industry wants regulation, but let me I want to take a big step back here, because how do we wind up with the main focus of crypto being meme coins in the first place? Meme coins, which are stupid, which are silly, because when the crypto industry,
And once again, I'm going to critique commentary, right? When you say stupid and silly in reference to a meme coin, you're obviously talking about the people who associate with meme coins, because a meme coin is an inanimate object. And this is what I talk about. These people on these panels that we supposed to be listening to, when it gets to a point where you have to identify something, you come up with the conversation of silly and stupid. That is very immature.
California, by the way, so I'm very, very passionate about the technology sector. When the crypto community was trying to be smart, trying to be good, trying to decentralize finance, they got slammed by my beloved Joe Biden's administration, by my beloved Elizabeth Warren. They got crushed into butter, and they said, you guys are creating unregulated securities. So the more useful the coin is, the more they got attacked. The more useless the coin is, the less they got attacked. So now you have the entire crypto community piled up on hot Tua coins, all kind of other stupid stuff. And so now us good Democrats say, you guys are too stupid to be allowed to fall for these scams. We're going to regulate you guys out of existence. But people just voted that they don't believe that anymore. And so here's what's going to happen. A lot of people are buying crypto as a prayer, as a prayer for a better tomorrow.
And this is the man who said, let's take a step back and let's figure out how we got here. Bro didn't take more steps back to figure out why people are even investing in crypto as a prayer. Because is not to say that crypto is bad and fiat currency is good. Oh no, we're not saying that. Or are we saying that? His beloved Joe Biden, his beloved Elizabeth Warren. If these politicians and lobbyists and panelists are not going to educate the public on fiat currency, why would they educate you on fiat currency when the value of fiat currency is based upon you being uneducated? What do I mean by that? Fiat currency is based on the people's trust within the government. The president on day one starts a meme coin, y'all. The leader of the free world on day one of his presidency starts a meme coin. He knows about the banking system. He knows about fiat currency. If Trump is trying to educate you on any level, he is trying to educate you on this fraudulent financial system. Is crypto better than fiat currency? It has to be better because it's not based upon trust. We trust the government. Do we really trust the government, or we don't have a choice to trust the government? See how that worked? You don't trust the government, and then you need an alternative. This is where cryptocurrency is coming in at. Of course, cryptocurrency may be a bubble, but so is fiat currency. So if the government collapses tomorrow, so does the dollar, y'all. So does everything you work for. So does your bank account. There is a deregulated financial system that goes outside of the country's central banking system. It's illegal for Americans to even own cryptocurrency. If you was to get some, like, you trying to trade crypto, they say, no, you can't do that in this country. If you want to operate in financial spaces for real, you got to get a VPN for real. You need one. And then on your VPN, you got to tell people, yeah, I'm in goddamn Canada. I'm in Mexico. All right, you good. Americans, we should be, 100% of us should be educated on why we need to invest in cryptocurrency. Because we believe in a fiat currency that has no intrinsic value. That's why. Fuck everything else. Okay? Because the dollar, they is in a limited amount of dollars that they can create. And in 2008, they bailed out the banks, y'all. They bailed out the banks. They printed trillions of dollars. Whatever the fucking bank needed, they printed and gave to the banks. When they created trillions of dollars, they devalue all of our money. And who was the president then? Barack Obama. Barack Obama can create trillions of dollars, and he's not a scam artist. Donald Trump creates a meme coin that anybody can buy, anybody can invest into, and he's a scam artist. Or you can choose not to. He's a scam artist. Do we have a choice when they bail out the banks and they make it impossible for millennials, Gen Zs to even own a home? Before that trajectory, everybody we knew had homes. It wasn't nothing to get a home. Of course, people was scamming and scheming, getting them nice ass homes and they couldn't afford it, but at least they had a house to stay in. We all got that family member, lived in that nice neighborhood for 2 months. One's in the chat. Oh, this is a nice house, Auntie Sherelle. This is nice.
as a hope that somehow something will go good for them.
Yeah,
and
but fam.
I'm not saying this is good. I'm going to beat Trump up in a second. But how did we get here? We got here because California innovators were beat up by DC, and so all the crypto people jumped ship. Now they're Republicans. They don't want regulation, and these meme coins are all that's left.
What I'm talking about here is the role of government in protecting people, protecting regular people, and Donald Trump.
Shorty in the middle gotta listen to Shorty in the middle when old boy was talking. She I don't like people that interrupt. Like that's my little pet peeve. If somebody talking, shut the fuck up. When I'm done, take over. Let me get my thought off. Peep this.
Now they're Republicans. They don't want regulation, and these meme coins are all that's left.
He in the middle of a sentence and then just if a person in the middle of a thought. When you interrupt a person when they talking, what does that say? It says you are not listening. When you're not listening, what's the point of you being on a panel? What's the point of you moderating a panel if you can't listen intently? Once again, we went to school for math. We went to school for science. We went to school for technology. We went to school for energy, but we did not go to school for listening. You ain't never took a listening class in your whole entire life. Therefore, you don't know how to do it. It's a way to listen. You can learn to listen. You got to shut down everything when somebody talking. You got to be fully enveloped in what that person is saying, even if you don't agree with it. What is the anagram for listen? Silent. Little pet peeve. I got triggered. My fault.
Jumped ship. Now they're Republicans. They don't want regulation, and these meme coins are all that's left.
What I'm talking about here is the role of government in protecting people, protecting regular people. And Donald Trump is, instead of filling that role, getting ready to profit off of this thing. I mean, okay. Not an expert here. Let me read from a former Federal Reserve economist. If people want to gamble, I don't really care. But what I care about is when the crypto bubble bursts, and it will burst, it will end up impacting people across the economy, even if they don't have direct investments in crypto. And this new coin is making it worse. Donald Trump is responsible.
That's high level yap, y'all. Listen to the high level yap. The high level yap is crazy. Wait.
Is when the crypto bubble bursts, and it will burst.
If people want to gamble, I don't really care. That's the first level of yap. Because gambling in this country is wiping out the middle class and lower class Gen Zs, adult males that's able to gamble before their brain is able to be developed. But if people want to gamble, I really don't care. What type of statement is that? What I care about is when this crypto bubble bursts. Once again, the crypto bubble should burst with money that nobody cares about. You don't invest money that you need. Because if I'm investing for 10 years money that I need, how am I going to eat? I can't get a loan and say, all right, this is how much money I'm going to make in the next 10 years. Can you give me a loan so I can invest it all in crypto? Well, how are you going to eat for the next 10 years? I don't know. That don't even make sense. You only going to invest the money that you can afford to lose. So if the crypto bubble bursts, that was just your McDonald's money anyways. You didn't even need to eat McDonald's. So every time you get an urge to get McDonald's, invest it in the crypto. If it goes to zero, you like, damn, my goddamn fry money gone. But see, this is loss aversion, right? The risk of loss aversion, where you afraid to win, right? That you okay with losing. And it will burst and it will end up impacting people. This is another level of yap. It's going to impact the people across the economy, even if they don't have direct investment into crypto. Well, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Ain't it a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation? If the crypto bubble goes to zero and it's going to impact everybody across the economy, that means I shouldn't invest. But you're not going to tell American people to stop working because the fiat currency has no value, are you? You're not going to tell them that. You're not going to tell the American public that they better demand to get paid in a different currency that have value because you are providing value to that company. You're giving them your sweat equity. You're giving them your brain power. You're giving them your attention. And what they do, they give you some fake ass fucking money on a fucking computer screen. And you like checking your goddamn bank account to see if that money came into your account so you can buy material goods. There is a natural way of living, and then there is a modern way of living. The modern way of living, there is no natural systems in place. In nature, there is rain, there is rivers, there are oceans, there are cataclysmic events, there are forest fires. All of these things that happen in nature are necessary for purification to allow for the system to exist without man's interference. If you never clean your house will be dirty. That's the difference between modern living and natural living. And when you are outside of these systems, you ain't even thinking correctly. You being told how to fucking think. So everywhere in the world, they are not blocking you from cryptocurrency exchanges, foreign exchanges. You can trade. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do because you're an adult. You go down, buy some goddamn weed. You can buy drugs, but it's illegal for you to fucking trade money on crypto, y'all. It's illegal because it's a bubble and it's going to burst, and we have to protect the American people from this vicious monster called crypto. But it's perfectly fine if we give them fake money. That's perfectly fine. What is fiat currency worth? Well, we took it off the gold standard and it's worth nothing. Well, this lady been working 40 hours. She been working on her feet for 40 hours. She tired. We're just going to give her more of this money that has no value. Your job is a Ponzi scheme. Okay? Your job is a scam. They tell them to pay you in crypto from here on out. See how they look at you crazy. Excuse me, I wanted to see if I could get paid in Solana. I want to get paid in Ethereum if that was okay. You can just here go my wallet address. You can just load up my wallet once I my direct deposit. No, Bitcoin is fine. Yeah, I'll take Bitcoin because I can just transfer it to Ethereum once it gets to my wallet anyway. Yep. Sure thing. Yeah, every 2 weeks I get paid in Bitcoin. Sounds good to me. Yeah, anything besides fiat currency, I heard that has no intrinsic value. Did you see what the president did? The president, the leader of the country, yeah, he into meme coins. Can you pay me in Pepe? Doge? Hmm. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I know it's a bubble and it might be bursting, but yeah, still, it might rise to $6 million though too. So there is that fact. I don't know. Just thinking, hey, crypto been actually around for 10 years and everybody been saying since for 10 years that it was a bubble and it was going to go down to zero, but it's actually at $100,000 a coin now. Isn't that funny how that works? When you have a negative mindset, irregardless to the evidence in front of you, and you still develop a negative mindset towards something, ain't that weird how that works? Yeah. Yeah, we're fighting against our ADHD and confirmation bias right now so we can make better choices leading in this 9 year. We're trying to transform our financial life. Yeah, so don't pay me in fiat currency no more. Bitcoin only. Or get your cash and convert it to crypto immediately. Have a cryptocurrency wallet and all of the money that you don't have to pay bills and clothes and food with, all that extra money, throw it into a crypto wallet, right? Not financial
is
advice.
making it worse. Donald Trump is responsible as president for protecting the American people, not for just opening the doors of the White House to the crypto industry, which he has essentially done with several appointments of people who are either worked for the crypto industry, or are.
My thing is, why Aren't you talking about the people who work in government and also work for the central bank, lady? You not up in arms that they printing trillions of dollars? Listen, what you mean, Hood? What's wrong with them printing trillions of dollars? If you print trillions of, if I have one card, one tarot card, this tarot card is the Chariot. That's a mini reading. Hood Mystic 38. Cash App. Anyways, I got one card and I put a value on this card. And the card that is value is $2. No matter how many extra cards I add, I'm never going to have more than $2. It's always going to be $2. So now I say I need change. So I develop a second card. So instead of this card being worth $2, this card is worth $2. No, I'm sorry, this card is worth $1 and this card is worth $1. If I get 2 trillion more cards, now each card is worth a fraction of $1. In 2008, how much money was printed? In 2008, 160.3 billion worth of notes or 7.5 billion notes was printed. In 2007, 177 billion notes were printed. So what you talking about is every time they print out these notes, the dollar is losing value. In 2008, the US government authorized a 700 billion bank bailout. Without the bank bailout, they wouldn't have need to print $700 billion. But they gave this money to the banks so the banks could balance out their books. What do you mean the banks had to balance out their books? They had to pay all of their executives their bonuses. Because of course, ruining this country, ruining the quality of financial literacy of the American public. These niggas deserve a Porsche and a yacht for that, right? Most people want money. Most people don't know what money is. And so we are like pawns in this game where we are the goddamn rulers of this game. Because if all of the Americans came together and said, you know what? We don't trust you no more. We got to figure out this financial system to a point where we're all on equal footing financially. But it's a nigga with $2,000. Like, man, I don't want to risk losing my $2,000. So I'ma just, be happy I got $2,000. And the reality is this: the concept of you having more or less money is ruining it for everybody. Because when you drive from point A to point B, you driving past nothing but empty spaces. It's nothing but space. It's nothing but opportunity in this country, and we don't have access to it. Not because we don't have a lot of money, not because we don't work hard. It's strictly taken from Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Why are my people destroyed? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, and God will reject you, thou that she's to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. Once again, this kind of money is just a concept. So therefore, if you don't have no personal understanding, personal financial literacy, what the hell? Don't nobody owe you shit. And ain't nobody give you nothing. I'm stop sharing and reshare. because I feel like the sound try to start to play it. And peace to the tribe. Make sure y'all like the video, share the video while you here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, all right, all right. Let me know if y'all hear sound or not.
Are themselves investors, which is it's about conflicts, right? Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why.
All right, let's see. SEC chairman, central bank. Okay. Who did President Joe Biden nominate for his SEC chairman in 2020? Joe Biden is in a hire Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is the 33rd chair of the SEC, right? He was in chair from August 17th, 2021, of course, to January 20th, 2025, where the man in the middle, Paul Atkins, is now the SEC chairman. Okay? Before Gary Gensler was the SEC chairman, he previously worked for Goldman and Sachs. Goldman and Sachs is a bank, ladies and gentlemen. A bank, right? So it's perfectly fine for, and once again, banks deal exclusively in fiat currency. Okay? Currency that have no intrinsic value. They print money, they take your hard-earned money and gamble that shit like it's goddamn, you know, the final four. So a bank ain't never gave a shit about your financial literacy. Let's just be clear about this. Especially if they giving you out fiat currency and not telling you. You notice, what do it say on the goddamn dollar bill? Who do it say that we trust in? It say we trust in God, and God we trust. How many gods are there? Man, I got this huge ass book. I'm looking at it right now by Judica Illis. It's called the Encyclopedia of Spirits. It's close to 10,000 deities in that damn book. And they talking about in God we trust. Nigga, which one? Which God are we trusting in? Because in the Bible it say you can't honor God and honor Mammon at the same time. Mammon is an entity and an energy in reference to money. Why does the Bible tell you you shouldn't trust in Mammon? Because the shit is made up. Once again, am I saying you shouldn't have no money? No, but I'm saying you should be financial literate enough to know the difference between an investment and fiat currency. You should know without a shadow of a doubt that this money ain't real and this money is real. Because there's certain things you can do with fiat currency, and there's certain things that you can do to protect yourself if the dollar was to fall. So it's wrong for these people to be cryptocurrency friendly because the American public does not need to learn about cryptocurrency, y'all. We as Americans, we should never touch cryptocurrency because it is evil. That doesn't make sense to me.
He was called the grifter in chief in his first term. You know, the Democrats, Capitol Hill, there was a report that was issued that he and his family made multiple millions of dollars off of foreign governments. 5 million on the Chinese government alone. So here's really the threat is that, I was in Qatar on election day. I was at a financial summit. And everyone that you have foreign money there, you've got sovereign money there, money from all over the world. And the consensus was that Donald Trump can be bought, that he can be bought and influenced simply by dangling some money over his head. So with him, all roads lead back to the money. So that's really the threat for the American people. It's not just that you're buying a meme coin. It's that you don't know what interest of yours that he's selling.
I just have to answer. I just have to answer.
Sure, please
I'm
do,
sorry,
Scott.
I'm
I
sorry.
expect you to.
You
By all means.
for you to talk about grifters.
And it's Ashley again.
For you to talk about grifters, you work for Biden and Harris. I just have to ask you, what services and goods did the Bidens provide for all the money that Hunter and family made over the years? Did you consider that grifting, or did you consider that productive?
No, actually, Scott, you should.
Yo, the way that she said nothing, like, what is that saying? Your silence spoke volumes. Listen, we have sent billions of dollars to Ukraine. Before Biden was a president, the American public voted for this man knowing that he was in bed. No human American should have voted for Biden based upon the Biden-Ukraine relationship before he was even a president. When he was a vice president, he was in bed with Ukraine. And when that Ukraine war started, it should have just started without us ever being involved. Because us being involved, it puts us in a space where we know Biden's relationship with Ukraine. So once again, this dude was a president and took the taxpayer dollars and sent it to Ukraine every time he could. At every moment, at every second of the day, he was thinking about how could he send more money to Ukraine. What did Ukraine ever do for you? Bro, a person can give you $1 million right now and you can invest that into a business and you can market your business and you would be like, damn, I'm really that nigga for real. You start feeling good about yourself. That's how they feel in goddamn Ukraine. Niggas are just handing out checks. Niggas riding around in Bugattis and all types of shit off our money, our tax money. And it's like, well, they can't afford reparations. That would bankrupt the whole country. They just gave Ukraine reparations. So, once again, not Trump good, Biden bad. That's not what we're saying here. But we can't look at Trump being bad and Biden being good. When we talking politics, if we gonna have an honest conversation on politics, Trump ain't shit and Biden ain't shit. If we can view both of the Republican and Democratic parties as ancient parties, then as a people, we are making progress. But if we're still trying to sort out which part of the doodoo is the good part of the doodoo, nigga, we full of shit ourselves. So when he said, I know you ain't talking about grifters, tell me why Joe Biden and Hunter Biden ain't grifters. She couldn't say nothing. Peep how she says nothing.
Money that Hunter and family made over the years. Did you consider that grifting, or did you consider that productive?
Actually, Scott.
About grifters.
And it's Ashley again.
For you to talk about grifters, you work for Biden and Harris. I just have to ask you, what services and goods did the Bidens provide for all the money that Hunter and family made over the years? Did you consider that grifting, or did you consider that productive?
Actually, Scott, you should actually answer. You should be the one answering that question, because if you're saying
she called him. She said called him a grifter in chief.
Scott,
this man has been a businessman and a brand.
I'm
for
saying
decades.
from your perspective, if I were you and I were like you, up in arms about Joe Biden and the influence of foreign governments, et cetera, I would also be up in arms about this. Why aren't you?
You guys are claiming things that I don't know
Scott,
are true. You're saying he could be bought. Foreign governments might do this.
He's making money right now.
Exactly.
Right now. He's making money right now.
So what? He is a private businessman and has been his entire life. He is not in politics.
Catherine wants to get in here. Go ahead, Catherine.
Look, I think this is probably the first time Trump will enter office as a billionaire, on paper anyway, because he is cashing in on the fact that he's becoming president, because he knows that this is a very easy way. Again, these coins have no inherent value. The only value is hoping that somebody else will pay.
Now, Miss Catherine Rample, if the meme coin have no inherent value, we all went to Google. We all can go to Google. How much? What is the intrinsic value of the dollar? What is the intrinsic value of the bank? The Central Bank of America. What is the intrinsic value of a dollar? The dollar has zero intrinsic value. I asked Google, what is the intrinsic value of a dollar? This nigga says zero. So if my check, y'all need to get red pilled on this. If my check is $4,000 and I multiply it by zero, how much money did I actually make? Any number multiplied by zero is zero. So you can be so damn smart that you sound dumb. The cryptocurrency has no intrinsic value. How does it have no intrinsic value? Why doesn't it have no intrinsic value? Because they're investing fiat currency in it. Silly. It have more value than a paper dollar. Because say, for instance, I have a paper dollar, right? And I rip it up to shreds and I burn it and I set it on fire. Can I get the value of that dollar recovered? No, it's gone forever. But if I have it stored on a digital wallet, and as long as I got electricity or some type of electrical charge, well, I still have that value stored. It is a mathematical equation. A mathematical equation has more value than zero. But a paycheck that is multiplied, a paycheck which is paid to you in fiat currency, if you multiply it by zero, it equals zero. So don't ask the question why you can't get ahead in life. Don't ask your ancestors for more money. What's a million times zero? What's a million? Because I went to public school. They ain't teach me big numbers. Maybe it's a different equation. A million times zero. Damn, it equals zero. See, that's the pill that nobody want to swallow, nobody want to take, nobody want to sit and do the reflection work, because then it will require you to invest or to start a business or develop a skill that if the value went to zero, at least you know how to clean a toilet, at least you know how to fix a flat, at least you know how to, do something of value. Because there's some people that just relying on this money to save them, but I'm telling you, it has already happened. The only thing that we are up against is people having the knowledge. Once people have the knowledge, then the shit's gonna go to a point where they have to institute a global income. They're gonna have to institute a united form of currency that we know it don't have no value, but everybody have a home, everybody have a car, everybody have food. Because when you think that the money have value, then you have an excuse for a person to be homeless. Niggas is dumb as fuck, bro. You have an excuse for a nigga to not have no food because he don't have no fucking money. That's stupid shit. You gonna treat a nigga differently. You gonna treat somebody differently because they don't got money. And you got money. But the money's worth zero. It's people who live and die over money and it wasn't worth shit. And then when they come to heaven, God's saying, okay, you getting reincarnated. You ain't learned shit down there. Motherfuckers have died being stressed out over money, but a million times zero equals zero. So you was stressed out about over nothing. Why does all of it equal to zero? Because you die in the first place, idiot. And what's the saying? You can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. You heard that before. So therefore, you're going to stress about something that you can't even take with you. And the crazy part, I know a man, a great man, and his parents, his family don't even give a shit about him. But he provide their whole life. Never once have I heard them say, "Oh, I appreciate you. Love you, Dad. Thank you for making my life easier." So at the twilight of his life, this man got to reflect on sacrificing his life for motherfuckers that didn't even give a fuck. But you work at that job for that money and you don't even leave this bitch with self-respect. See, people do not suffer for the ways that you think they suffer. They suffer because they don't know. So if you could just sit back and know and understand, you will not get caught up in the mumbo jumbo. Yeah, meme coins don't have no inherent value, hood. Okay. I know they don't. And that's cool. None of this shit have no inherent value. The only thing that have inherent value is you. So start with you, start with your soul, and ever so slightly expand. Because once again, if you don't have no inner constitution and you saying, okay, let me invest in crypto, ain't wrong answer. Ain't nothing here that's going to save you except yourself. So got about 2 minutes left of this video. We're
Pay
going to
more
finish
for
it up.
them. It's basically like a Ponzi scheme. And the idea is here that these will be sustainable for the next few years because there will be greater fools, or at least people who are more interested in ingratiating themselves with the president, because by buying these coins, they are effectively putting money in the president's, the president-elect's bank account. That is how it works, and that is how it will work. And there are no safeguards here. That is how there are no safeguards here. In fact, as we have been discussing, all of that unleashing of the economy by deregulation will apply to this specific market. So there is no incentive for Donald Trump to put any safeguards here to either protect the followers of his, who are again going to lose their shirts potentially if the value of these things crashes, or to provide safeguards so that if the thing doesn't crash because there's a price floor set by all the Saudis and corporate executives who are buying these things, there's no safeguards to protect that either. So Scott can wish away any potential conflict of interest, but it's very clearly there.
Yeah, okay, Van, we have to give you the last word.
Look, there are two things that are bad about this. One is that there are people who are going to get hurt financially. Some people are going to benefit, and it is a backdoor to buy the president. Those things are true. I think the problem.
So the bankers that have benefited since 1933, their families have benefited while the melanated population have been redlined and pushed out of wealth, pushed out of generational wealth, right? Those people who some people have benefited, some people have suffered. Okay, cool. What do they have to prove in reference to being anti-crypto? To me, it sounds like they're pro fiat currency, pro government. And when you look at the government that has left, that is the final nail in the coffin for fiat currency. And all of these entities and energies and pundits and talking heads who suck at the teat of fake life and fake government, they're going to fall down with the ship. And I'm saying this to anybody who have a brain. Don't be afraid to learn new information. Don't be afraid to stay up all night to figure some shit out. Because what's happening is that they have you on a loop of emotions and fear and negative energy, to whereas this have become your reality. While at a whole nother level, you can get into the knowledge of a meme coin, right? And not be stupid, buy when the meme coin is at its peak, but get into a meme coin when it just started and be on the precipice and watch your money grow. Nigga, if you get $10,000 and you get some money and you could do something nice for your family, nigga, ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you being smart. Stop thinking that you are, Mr. Valor, Mr. Integrity, because you bust your ass every day and you don't get no real knowledge on how the world work. I used to, when I first came to Michigan, I was so, I guess the word is self-hating, reverse racist. I would drive in through Ferndale and Oak Park and Royal Oak. I was so broken mentally on the inside, y'all. I would see these restaurants and people eating it. I'd be like, damn, I ain't gonna never. It's so many restaurants in like that strip. I used to drive by them and be like, man, that's crazy. My shit was so bad that I would be like, damn, they would probably see me and be like, oh, we don't serve black people. Because when I looked into the window, I would only see white people eating. So I would be like, damn, I know you gotta just be exclusive to eat in them restaurants. I've been living in Detroit for 4 years, man. That shit nasty as hell. Like I hate these fucking restaurants in Royal Oak, and I've been to all of them. But at my mindset before I came to Michigan, that's why, man, I'm so grateful to Michigan because it taught me about life. Because I don't know anybody in Michigan. I don't have no family or friends. I just got me and my wits, right? And my wits have served me well in Michigan. And I say all of that to say, shit, I done been to every restaurant I thought was exclusive. Now I already just know what type of time these motherfuckers is on. And I'm like, man, I don't even want to go to these restaurants. And I'm only saying that to say your perspective, if you feel like you can't be rich or you can't make no money or you can't you know, understand financial literacy and benefit you into a space where you can do the things that you want to do and start businesses, build e-commerce, monetize yourself on YouTube, all of this shit is possible. And I know it's possible because I've done it from just a simple logistics point of view. Okay, I need 1,000 more hours of watch time to get monetized. I got 10 fucking hours. All right, I got 990 more hours to go. Guess I'll be a posting little bitch. You know what I'm saying? And once I get monetized, it feels good to be monetized. Well, I gotta post now to start making some money. If I can monetize, anybody can monetize. You're gonna have to put the work in. You're gonna have to try to make some good content. But to post on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, guess how much it costs to post on YouTube? Guess how much it cost me to post this video? Didn't cost me shit to post and yap for 2 hours. Monetize every single second of this video. And I'm just saying that to anybody who feels like they can't be monetized on YouTube. You can't be monetized on YouTube because your ass didn't try. You ain't made no money in crypto because your ass didn't even invest in crypto. You even set no money aside to just play with it. You don't know the difference between Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin? Whose fault is that? Okay? So, as all of these systems are in play, you're going to have to understand financial shadow work. So this Sunday, the last week of the shadow work intensive, we going into financial shadow work, the big bad wolf. I have a supporting article that's in my Substack, link in the description, talking about why people are still afraid of crypto. And so what I did was compile 5 sources in reference to the shadow of loss aversion, the fear of losing over the hope of winning, um, the avoidance of coping. Like if I don't deal with crypto, at least I didn't lose no money, right? At least I didn't lose no money, and then I have a source for that. FOMO, right? The scarcity trap, the fear of missing out, where people get in crypto at the wrong times. When the news is talking about crypto, then you want to get into it. So once again, if I know that the Jordans are gonna sell for $50, I know they're gonna sell for $50. But it's a sale on Jordans that they're $75. Would I buy the Jordans at $75? No, I wouldn't buy it. But will people buy it at $75? Yeah. Why? Because Jordan had a promotional, they sent out an email newsletter talking about the Carolina Blue Jordans is coming out for one weekend only. Get them now for $75 and you get a keychain on it, right? But the next week is going to be $50. It's not the limited edition. It don't got the keychain, but it's still going to be the Jordans. See, this is what people generally do in crypto. When people talk about crypto, that's the high point. So in crypto spaces or foreign exchange spaces, it is called sell the news, right? Because if you are an investor or if you know anything, you trying to buy it at a discount. When it's something that you want to buy, don't you want to buy it at a cheaper price? Especially a commodity, especially if something that is increasing in value over time, you want to buy it at a cheaper price because that means what? That when it increases, my investment increases. I don't want to buy anything at its peak. FOMO is when you buy things at their peak. So you would be a much better investor if you never like base your investments on emotion rather, but you base your investment on knowledge. So we have a good source article by April Federico on that. The fourth thing of why people are afraid of crypto, the power of distrust, right? People people think that something bad is going to happen, and therefore that informs them of all their decision making. But my thing is, and this is what when I started studying and going through Blue Magic, I had to start imagining that things were going to be good. I had to start imagining that I was going to be financially taken care of. Because what had happened was emotionally, I would get a bill and I would be like, damn. So what would happen is if the bill was $200, I would have $200. And I'll be grateful. Like at least I paid a bill, but once I pay the bill, I don't have no money. The shift with me came when I had the bill and I said, oh, I will have way more money than that bill. So yeah, that bill's $200, but just for in this instance, I got $1,000. So boom, break off that 200. I still got 800, and I'm not hurt by that bill. It was a mindset shift for me, right? And then I didn't care about the bills no more because I'm willing to pay the bills because I got more than enough money to pay the bills, right? So number 5, seeking comfort in the familiar. We used to in God we trust. We used to the fiat currency, but we need to be awakened. Uranus is in Taurus. Goddamn, Pluto is in Capricorn. Both of those, both of those are Earth signs that deal with the finances. We are dealing with a shift in our financial sector. The shift is moving towards cryptocurrency, whether we like it or not. And if it's not cryptocurrency, it for sure is not going to be the dollar. The dollar is cooked. So stop being dependent on it. And if you got a type of job, or if you sign in a contract, or you looking for a new job, I would say ask them if they can pay you in cryptocurrency. Give them your wallet address and say, is that an option? You'll be surprised what companies might say. because a lot of companies are starting to have cryptocurrency on their books. So the shift to decentralized work and money, a psychological evolution. We are, like I said, especially for me, I've been working from home since 2017, right? Been a general sole proprietor at home, one, more or less a partnership, and just working from home. And that requires a level of discipline outside of going to work. Because when you go to work, you gotta go to work, right? When you at home, you more prone to do whatever you want to do. But when we talking about cryptocurrency and we talking about our own autonomy, you have to be a level of discipline that you probably not used to. So having enough resources to get a safety deposit box where you can store all of your lock codes, all of your pass keys is a necessity. Because if you got $100,000 in a cryptocurrency wallet and it's written on paper in your home, Lord forbid something happened to your home where maybe nothing tragic happened, but you got it in a suitcase. Somebody come in the house and they take the suitcase with your pass keys and you don't have no access to that cryptocurrency wallet, is nothing that anybody can do for you. But that's the price you pay for having control. You control it on the positive and you control it on the negative. I'm not an advocate for cryptocurrency. I'm an advocate for the knowledge that is associated with cryptocurrency. If you study cryptocurrency and you come to the conclusion that it's a scam and you shouldn't deal with it, I respect that. But if you never did any due diligence, no work on cryptocurrency because it's a scam, that to me is a logical fallacy or circular reasoning. All of these all of these breakthroughs that I've experienced have come through financial shadow work, like really doing the inner child work, how I was growing up, realizing that I was on those same cycles, those same pathways that I was ever since a child, and I never made the internal changes. So this required me to do journaling work, intention work, deep work to get behind my finances. Because as a business owner, like right now, I don't know when my next dollar. I don't know when the next sale is coming from, where my next dollar is coming from. But I do trust in the work that I put in thus far, and usually it pays off. I do have bad months, I do have slow months, but more than not, I've been able. I haven't missed no meals. Let's just put it like that. I haven't missed no meals. So with all that being said, I'm grateful to anybody who ever supported me, anybody who ever watched the video, liked the video, shared the video. Hopefully y'all did that already. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all y'all. So today I had an idea to do a video called the Shift Report. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all like it. Because what I did was I had a table with all of the placements this week, and I want to communicate astrology to y'all, but I don't just want to be like, the moon is in Aquarius and Aquarius means community and blah, blah, blah. I want to take real things that's happening and have a discourse about it. So if you enjoyed this format, let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat. One in the chat if you like this format, style of video before you leave. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. I'm the Hood Mystic. This is the Shift Report. I'm gonna see if y'all like the video by putting the ones in the chat, but I'm gonna just go and run our show credits while y'all put a one in the chat. Let me know if y'all like this format or not.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.
Okay. The Shift Report, where shift happens. I'll be your host, the Hood Mystic. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.